Oh, very snazzy.
There we go.
So, hello, I'm Olivia from RGM, and we have Delilah Bon slash Lauren Tate. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Delilah Bon slash Lauren Tate, but for today I'm going to be Delilah Bon.
I love that.
Um, and I am a singer slash rapper slash producer from
Slash
South Yorkshire.
everything.
Yes,
Slash
slash
everything.
everything. Yeah, I have many different things that I am, but yeah, I like to just call myself a singer, but I do so much more than that.
Exactly. Yeah, I was having a look on your website before, and literally under your name, singer, songwriter, producer, you do all of your stuff for Delilah
Mhm.
Bomb with your mum. You do
Yeah,
everything, and I love that. I always think people like that CEO energy, and I absolutely love
yeah,
it. I love it.
that's what I need to
So
be. I need to change it to CEO. That sounds
you
better.
absolutely do. CEO. I love that. Anyway, the first question I wanted to ask you today was Delilah Bomb. Who is she? As opposed to Lauren Tate? That was what I wanted to ask.
um, she's kind of like I call her my alter ego,
Okay.
and yeah, I created her when I was feeling quite depressed. So out of a depressing time, I created an alter ego that I could kind of just disappear into myself, and I could
Mm-hmm.
just go into my own little bubble and live a kind of fantasy. I would write in songs for myself. So usually I'm in my band Hands Off Gretel, and I've been doing that for 6 years. And then I just hit a point in my life, and I think particularly during lockdown, a lot of people have done this where they've started to really like look in at themselves and
Mm-hmm.
think, what do I want from my life? Who am I?
Yeah.
And when I've done that soul search this year. I did it last year. I've done that soul search, and then I found this character in there, like Delilah Bond. She's like my sassy alter ego. She's more confident than me. She is me, but
Yeah.
the style of music, the everything about Delilah is what I needed in my life. It's like the confidence, the empowerment that I needed. That's Delilah Bon.
Yeah. That's great. That's absolutely great. So Delilah Bomb, was she sort of the separation from, not separation as in like breakup, as the band from Hands Off Gretel? Was that literally just your own personal, it's your own personal journey, I suppose,
Mhm.
kind of thing?
Yeah. Um, yeah, because I was a solo artist to start with. When the very first time I started music, I was 12, and that was like just me in this big world on my own making music. And then when I got a band, it was like I became just another person to the band. So I was just like the singer,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of took a back seat. I was still very creatively involved. Like Hands of Gretel is my baby, is my creation, my songs, all the ideas are like mine. But yeah, just doing this on my own, I think particularly going in the studio and writing the songs for myself is something that I've done differently this time and
Mm-hmm.
had that freedom, which I've really enjoyed doing.
That's great. That's really, really great. So, the sort of music that you make, so you've just released a brand new debut album for Delilah Bon. What
Mm-hmm.
is the genre? Would you please describe?
um, I always kind of say it's like a punk influenced hip hop. So it has the kind of aggression of punk rock music where it isn't necessarily like a punk music, but it has that attitude.
I
And
definitely
then
think upon listening to it, sorry to interrupt, upon listening to it today, it
mhm,
absolutely has that punk attitude, and I love it all the
yeah,
way through every single song. And
yeah,
they all sound different, but they're all within
uh-huh.
that sort of like genre fusion kind of thing, and they're really amazing. By the way, I just thought I'd let you
Oh,
know.
thank you.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to keep, because I'm very like, I've grown up, teenage years was just like punk rock music, grunge music, like rock music. And then my childhood years was like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. Um, like that's the kind of music I loved. And I think as I've got older, that enjoying that kind of pop music, I've always been quite embarrassed about saying, oh, I really love Britney Spears. And then And then like when I've done the soul searching, it's like, no, these elements of myself, like me, childhood me, the music I danced around my bedroom to, I dance to that now. That is still who I am. So I've kind of included all of my influences to create Delilah Bon. And I think then it just makes it more, it's more authentically me, because it's like every element of me mixed. It's the pop, the punk, the rap, everything. And I love what I'm doing.
Exactly. No, that is so true. If you took away the pop music side of it, then you definitely wouldn't have got the music that came out of the album, because you can so tell, like, when I was listening to you, you sounded so much to me. You sounded like Pink. And
I love Pink.
Absolutely loving Pink. And say, she was like, oh, she was my guilty pleasure. She is not my guilty pleasure at all. All of these separate different artists at some stage in your life, they help sort of bring together all of your creativities, and then obviously you turn it into what you make of it. And that is exactly what the album is. So what sort of topics on the album do you discuss? Do you
I think my main theme is like female empowerment and being bold, being unapologetic, and being all the things that as a little girl I was told I couldn't be. And just being able to speak my mind. It's like something I wanted to talk about, subjects that, for example, if I go to a sleepover and I talk to my friends, it's like we're talking about things that we're not writing about in our music. Like I went to a sleepover with my friends and we were just talking about how it felt to just go out in the clubs and to just feel like we've got these outfits we want to wear, but then we get to the club and like we're getting this attention from these men, and how it ruins your night. And it's like, yes, it's like that. I think a lot of people have written songs that's like kind of, I don't know how you would explain it. A lot of people have written songs that are very considered like feminist songs. And like that message is what I do as well. Like I would consider my music to be like a feminist. It's feminist music.
It absolutely is.
At the same time, I wanted it to have like an element of like playfulness. So I want my music to be fun. It's not just angry, like it is angry, but also it's fun to dance to. And it's kind of has a power to it. Like I'm embracing all of the best parts of being a woman, as well as complaining about the things that are shit.
Exactly. No, when I the album opener, is it Freak of the Week? Not Freak of the Week.
Yeah.
Freak of the Week it is.
Yeah.
And I was listening to that and I just thought, oh my days, every single word that is coming out of Delilah Bon's mouth is hit the nail on the head completely. And it was so fun to dance to as well. And it was great. And it had this energy, and that's like it's the entirety of the album. It has this energy, but it also has every single message behind each of the songs which covers what you just explained, and it's great. And I love it all the way through. It's brilliant. So no, it's great. I love hearing feminist pieces, but just not sort of beating around the bush with it, getting straight to the point, and being this is what this is, and being honest about it, and as you say, unapologetic. And that is exactly you've really hit the nail on the head there. So that's my reaction. Have you had any other reactions to it so far? Like anything that's worthy of noting, particularly from the male gender?
I guess I do. I have like had people very much dislike it. I've written one song, like for example, if I say misogyny, I say I am anti-misogyny, and people hear that and they think she's anti-men. Misogyny must mean men, and it's like misogyny does not mean men. Misogyny means misogyny. It's like anti-woman. And the amount of messages I've had back and forth with people that were like, I really like you as a person, and I really like the style of music, but I feel like the lyrics are a little bit like anti-men. And it's so frustrating because I want to sing about my experiences a woman, like as a girl, what I've been through. And anytime that I open my mouth and say, this is what my friends feel, this is what I feel, this is what we're going through, it's like everyone just reminds me like, yes, but what about men? And it's just frustrating because I want to hear how women feel in their music. I don't want them to have to filter that to just try and please everybody. Like, I don't want to please everybody. And I think the fact that I am kind of saying it how I want, and I'm not filtering myself, that means that like the message, it's like, it's a strong message. And I think people can hear that in the music. And if people don't like it, then they don't get it. I think a lot of people don't understand it really. Because it's supposed to be a positive message. It's supposed to be it's supposed to educate. It's not supposed to like just kind of attack someone, because I'm not saying anyone in particular these songs are aimed at you, but I think some people just need to learn.
A lot of the time as well, I think if people had a bad reaction to it, then it's probably you who's doing the damage. So if you're shutting down these messages rather than supporting it, then you're doing the damage. You're not speaking up. You're not saying this shouldn't be happening. And that is it gets me. And it's like you said, you're educating, and I think you mentioned it in the first song. It's not just about attacking men, it is educating. It is being a woman, and being a woman as an equal, not as we're better, or men we're better. Well, like, it's, you know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy. But that's perfect. So along those topics, I wanted to ask you, as a solo artist, as a woman in the music industry, and as a female fronter for your band Hands Off Gretel, have you ever faced any struggles or anything trying to get booked? Or what do you feel of the lineups at the moment? What do you think is like the gender equality on these things? What's your thoughts?
I've always been lucky with my gigs. We haven't really struggled to get gigs on the underground scene. I think like as soon as the ball got rolling with that and we got more and more gigs, we were playing the same kind of lineups on gigs. However, festivals, different story. It's like with festivals, I have no idea what they're doing wrong. I don't know what's happening, because there's this demand for more women on festivals, and like lists and lists of women on Twitter. It's like, this woman's doing good, this woman. Why aren't they playing these festivals? Why is it just a recycle of last year, the same male bands? So when I see the festival lineups, I'm always disappointed. I just think like, you know, it's like 1 year. Why not just try it? Just 1 year, try it, put more women on. I think there's a demand for it. But then that excites me as well, because then you get smaller festivals that start their own lineups, and they think, right, if the bigger festivals are not going to do it, then we're going to do it. And then it's down to the people then to see that and support that, and I'll support that. I don't really know why I don't know why my band hasn't been asked to play these festivals, because we've been asked to play a few and we have got them slots, but after like 6 years of pure grind and like you playing shows, you're selling them out, it's like, at what point are you then going to be asked to play these festivals? Like, what is it you have to do? Is it who you know? I have no idea, but fingers crossed we get those slots. But until at this point now, it's been hard to be recognized.
Exactly. It's being a woman in the music industry anyway is just, it's so difficult, especially at this climate, and especially I think it's very genre biased as well. So I'd always say like the subgenres of like rock, of indie, they're always very male dominated, and it really frustrates me, because there are so many, like Hands Off Gretel, like so many other bands that are incredible women fronters, and not even just that. It's one of my favorite bands in the entire world, Wolf Alice. They are doing amazing things at the moment, but it's just them. Who's going to be the next one? Who's going to be the next one after that? And it's not just, we don't just want to look at these massive, huge bands like Wolf Alice. They're not the poster saying, oh, we have got girls on, she's a headliner now. It's down below, it's the grassroots, it's everything like that as well. So that's really interesting. It's good that you're getting the good gigs though as well, but festivals, we need to get better at them, don't we?
Definitely.
So basically I just wanted to go through all of the songs on the album, so I'm gonna have to get them up because I can't remember them all, but Freak of the Week, just to start off with, because that was my favorite one on that album. So you spoke about that before, quite in depth. Is there any other on the album that is sort of very different to that, would you say?
I have to try and remember what they're all about now. So the freak of the week was that was like how it feels to go out with your friends and you're just dancing with your friends, and then someone comes along and they assume that you're there for them, and you're like, no, I'm not here to attract men. I'm actually just here to dance with my friends. Just please leave us alone. And like fighting that off all night. Most of my songs are kind of about that kind of thing. Maybe school, that's not about that subject. So school is about school and it's about my experience there, and the idea that I wrote that song imagining that I'd blown up big and I was this big super mega star, and people were then saying like, oh, I used to know you at school and we were friends, but in reality at school, like I used to spend my dinner times I used to eat sandwiches in the toilet because I couldn't go to the canteen area, because I just like look around and just have nowhere to sit. And like, I hated school so much. It was a worst time ever. So writing that song was kind of like a middle finger to everybody at school. And I like doing that.
That's great. So then off school, what do you think your school age, younger Delilah Bon, Lauren Tate, would she think you'd be at this stage right now? Was she confident at that stage that she would blow up and be this really well-respected female in the music industry? Do you think she'd have thought that?
I always dreamt of it, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I wrote a song yesterday about this exact thing, like, and I called it 13, and it was a song about being 13 and like how I looked at what my life would be like as a 13-year-old. And I always used to think that like by the age of 20, I feel like I'll have my life together. I feel like I'll have a house. And 20, that's so old, right? And like now I'm 24 and there's no sign of me moving out at any point. And like, I don't think there is for many people at like our age. It's like not many people do now. Like my mum and dad, they moved out and got a house, but it's just not the same world anymore. And
I feel like your 20s is definitely no man's land at the moment. Like no one knows what is going on. It's crazy.
Yes. But at 13, I was just a head full of dreams. I felt like anything was possible. I truly just believed in myself. And I was just think like when I finish school, life will be so much better. It'll be easy because I'll have my music and then I'll play gigs and I'll just take over the world and then I'll be famous. And it's like all of the little challenges. I never even thought of the obstacles that I'd have to kind of conquer to get anywhere. Or like, I always thought I was born with the key to the door. I thought I had the key to unlock my dreams. And then I think as you get older, you realize, shit, other people have the key and you have to try and like impress them. And anytime that I kind of think about my career and I start to like doubt myself, I always think back to being 13 and I think like, think in her mind again, remind yourself of what you're doing this for. You're doing it because you believe in yourself. Like, you know, just make music, do it for the 13-year-old you that dreamed of this. So exactly. I feel like she'd be impressed. Yes.
Yeah. I think she'd be impressed too. Yeah, that's absolutely great. And the thing is, you're also being a role model to other 13-year-olds who think they have the key, as you say, and they have all these dreams and stuff, and they want to grow up and they want to be an amazing musician, and you in that position is really driving them to do that, which is absolutely brilliant. So other than that, I think, I'm really sorry it's a short interview today. I think that's just about it. Is there anything that you want to say? Anything you want to tell RGM?
Maybe about future plans for tour, possibly. I could
Go
say
for it.
that.
Absolutely.
Because I've been like dancing around my room, making live versions of my songs. So I've been like imagining it all, practicing what I'll dance like and everything. So next year I am going on tour with Delilah Bon. It's going to happen. It's going to be everything that I've ever wanted it to be. And you're all invited on the guest list.
We love to see it. Yes.
Yes.
Where are you planning on going? Where is it? Where do you want to go?
Oh God, there's so many places, because obviously I want to do the main cities in the UK, but then like I want to go to America at some point, and I don't know when that will be. It's so weird. I have like fans in Russia, and I don't know how Russia would take Delilah Bon, or if I'd even allowed to play there. But I just want to see the rest of the world, because I've only seen the UK and Germany. I haven't played anywhere else. So next year I want to just start looking at the rest of the world and do something special
as well, because your songs aren't just for the UK, they're for every other girl in every club, in every different city in every other country. So it's spread understanding of what's going on. So definitely I love that. And any other news about maybe after the album? Is there anything else being released or anything? Or are you just gonna bask in the triumph of your debut?
No, see, I'm not like that, because my album's been out less than a week. No, a week tomorrow.
Yeah,
my album will have been out, and already I'm like, right, I need to do something else. I need to do the next thing, because it's out now. It's like I need to keep going. So I'm gonna have singles out in the summer, which is technically now. I think it will be summer now. Is it summer now?
I have absolutely no idea.
I have no idea.
It
doesn't feel like
next week, which is absolutely crazy to me,
Oh,
because May started yesterday. But yeah, no.
But yeah, some singles that I'm doing, and I'm working on a Halloween horror EP kind of thing. And I'm really excited about that kind of horror style. It's gonna be cool.
That is very exciting. Is that due to drop on Halloween?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I've written the songs, I've started recording them. That's the plan. But yeah, I think it will.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for being on RGM today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for the album. It's great. So yeah,
thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Sorted. I'll stop the recording.